have run over, so you'll be pleased to know mine's short and sweet. And all I'm going to do is really share with you some research that backs up loads of the examples that Danielle's given us today. I'm going to use a technique called Pecha Kucha, which I don't know whether you've seen before or not. But fundamentally it's called chit-chat in Japanese. So I have 20 slides, 20 seconds a slide to go through some working principles. That's on a document on the Higher Education Academy website, Engaging Students. And it's research that Vicky Trowler in that paper drew from Krauss, and it's 10 working principles. And I'll apologise in advance for being a motor mouth through this, but 20 seconds, 20 slides. So, the 10 working principles for student engagement, just to reinforce what we've done and get our thinking brains, and apologies in advance if I repeat some of the things. But the first objective of a lecturer is to create and maintain a stimulating intellectual environment. So things that are going to intrigue and need explanation in the lecture, and like we've said, lots of activities, ideally every 15 minutes. Get those students engaged. You might use problem solving, different modes of learning, it's fine. Questions and answers, some of the things. And even though you're running out of time, resist answering the question yourself. Let the student answer you. As academics, we're going to value academic work and high standards. And students themselves want to do well. They're here because they want to reach their potential. So for goodness sake, let them know the rules of the game. Give them the tools to help them. And if you've got particular wants and assignments, let them know what they are. You know, they're not going to guess. If you're on a vocational course, let them know what it's like. So for me, let them know what it's like to be an accountant. They're aspiring to be there. Anyway, you can get those employers involved. It might be extracurricular, but it's well worthwhile. Every student is unique. And do what you have to do to get those learning types engaged. We have to get to know all of our students one way or another and respond to those different demographic subgroups and have different strategies for those subgroups, whether they're international, if they've come off a diploma or A-levels, we've got to get them engaged. Let them know the boundaries that they're working within. Ensure that your expectations are explicit, but most of all, they're responsive to your students, and whatever you do, be consistent. And you might need to reiterate these at key times of the year. Don't have to be one way. You can negotiate the boundaries. Some things will be set in stone. Other things you can negotiate. It's down to you. But listen to your students. Don't be too unrealistic, and make them suit the students you have, not the ones that you want. We're going to try and foster social connections in our lectures and our tutorials. Don't forget about online. Use forums. And these social connections, they can be facilitated, they might just happen, which is great. But more and more importantly, we've got home students living at home, so the tutorials and lectures are where they become part of the learning community. They're not in halls of residence anymore. So use your in-class time for active and collaborative learning. Acknowledge, when they're busy, they've all got lots of things to do. Recognise and help them during those busy periods. We were going to ask you to text in what you'd be doing otherwise, and that's where this slide came from. But no doubt you would be marking or I don't know, whatever, teaching. But let them know you know that they're busy people. Help them plan. Might need a bit of advice how to plan all their work. They're starting to juggle work, study, social life, living away from home. Help them out, support them. Let them know the peaks and troughs in any academic year. You're going to have to help them self-manage. You might need to tell them how to revise your topic, how to recognise those key subject areas and the learning outcomes. Let them know most of all though, they're not alone. There'll be key points in the academic year or the season, key times, which you're going to have to advise them about. But be explicit about your availability during these times. You know, it's key to them. Wherever we can, try to use assessment to encourage student experience and engagement. Feedback should be continual, whether it's in tutorials, whether it's on online courses, multiple choice, Moodle quizzes, whatever. It's not just on assignments. Wherever you can, bring the students together. Can they set questions for each other in tutorials? Can we have some peer assessment perhaps? Can we use forward feed amongst each other? But help them bond. So from today, I'd like you to take a couple of seconds to just think, as you as lecturers, what extra do the students get from coming to your lecture? In a world of Moodle and online learning, what added value are you giving to your students that they can't get online? Engagement, by its very nature, is complex. It's binding the students together. It's creating a meaningful learning environment. So as a result, it creates conflict and turmoil for so many students. But together, we have to acknowledge that students change over time and respond to those changes so that our lectures and tutorials become places that they really want to come to, look forward to, as opposed to a date in the calendar. Okay, so it's my 20 slides on 20 seconds. Only my lecture. So, just to finish off today, I was going to ask Callum to share with us a few IT ideas that we could maybe bring into the classroom or utilise through Moodle, really to get our students engaged, to accommodate those different learner types.